In today's video, we ask a simple question. Do you really need a flagship when we have phones like the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G? Let's dive into the review of it. So I know, this is not a simple question or a simple answer by any means. For some people, definitely there is a benefit on getting a flagship. For instance, having faster storage, having a better camera and so on. But with that being said, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G is a really solid contender to just be a good phone for the price. Yes, there are more, but I think Xiaomi is one of the better out of them. With that also being said, I don't think it's the most beautiful phone. Either way, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G, which is a far too long name to keep saying, is a really solid phone. There's a lot to like, especially with the features that you do get inside the phone. For instance, you get a 3.5mm headphone jack, you get the micro SD, you get a charger inside 67 watts, and of course, you do get a pretty good camera setup as well, not to mention a really good display for the price as well. And this for like 4 times as little as most of the flagships out there. So let's focus on the camera for a bit. We have a 108 megapixel main sensor with a 1/152 inch sensor size and an aperture of 1.9. We get an 8 megapixel ultra wide with 118 degrees field of view. And of course, a useless 2 megapixel sensor. Max video recording is limited at 1080p and 30 frames per second. So, how is the result? Well, let me simply show you. Then let's talk about software. Of course, it comes with MIUI 13, however, it is still on Android 11. In day-to-day experience, it's a smooth phone, but as I stated, MIUI in general isn't the smoothest experience overall, because of it being a heavier skin. But there are without a doubt features that I like when it comes to MIUI. For instance, having a separate gallery app. I cannot tell you how much I dislike it when you don't have that, because then you purely need to rely on Google Photos. I cannot stand that. With MIUI, of course, you do have your normal app drawer as well, with of course separate categories inside that, for instance communications, entertainment, photography and so on. This makes the general overview when you are in that really nice and easy. Not to mention, if you slide down from your home screen, it is easier to get to the notifications and settings, because you don't need to be close to the top of the screen to slide that down. Somewhere in the middle still makes it work properly. So of course we also have to talk about updates. Well, I talked to Xiaomi about this and they said it will have updates till 2025. And every single 90 days you will get an update. Performance is of course also down to the guts of the phone. And these are of course, for instance, the Snapdragon 695 5G. From 64GB to 128GB of internal memory with UFS 2.2, with having different versions of RAM, but minus 8GB. For the battery we have a 5000 mAh one that can of course be charged with the included 67W charger. Now for the CPU, I have to say that this isn't a very powerful one, so playing graphic intense game will make this phone somewhat struggle. So Genshin Impact isn't going to be the best experience, simply because they have to lower the resolution to give a better game experience for less frame drops. You can definitely tell the pixels apart then. Apart from that, I will have to say that in day-to-day life, the CPU performance is just perfectly fine. If you Twitter, take some images, WhatsApp or whatever you do, that honestly doesn't bother me. The CPU performance there is plenty. At the end, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G, even though the name is confusing, isn't confusing when it comes to my recommendation. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G, that name, is really a solid contender and a really good phone. If you are looking for a phone around this price, I think Xiaomi has nailed it again. Even though I don't necessarily agree with the design that you get with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G and the name itself, I do think that overall it is a really solid phone. And I don't see any reason why you wouldn't put this on your short list when you are looking for a phone around this price. There's a lot to like. Is it a perfect device? No, definitely not. Every single phone needs work. But for the price, you definitely get a lot. Especially if it offers features that flagships for 4 times as much don't offer. Either way, hope you enjoyed the review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G, and damn, I'm glad that I don't need to mention that name anymore. And of course, if you did, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, do the bell icon and everything. That really helps out the algorithm as well. Of course, get me to that 1000 subscribers and the watch time stuff. Either way, have a good one and talk to you guys in the next.